Angela Merkel, Prime Minister of Germany, suggests banning the burqa. Is she getting smart or pandering prior to an election? Is Trump using Taiwan as a Chinese bargaining chip as leftists all over are erupting over a celebratory phone call? Let's start there, Maury. Our current president has no problem bowing to dictators, meeting with Fidel Castro, cutting deals with Iran, the worst nemesis, the worst ilk on the planet, he has no problem sullying up to. But yet you take a call from Taiwan, and you would think that someone had just
no, he prefers
closed down all the
he
abortion
prefers to
clinics.
deal with the Castros. He prefers to deal with the Iranians. He prefers to deal with the Saudi Arabians. This is the people that he seems to want to deal with.
They have the same mindset.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a fact.
So let me take this behind the scenes now.
Yeah.
I think Trump is so smart that he doesn't do anything superficially. I think everything he does has downward consequences or
Like a good businessman.
So what is he doing to China with this Taiwan situation?
Well, first of all, this has been distorted out of all proportion. He's taken calls from about anywhere from Putin to Netanyahu to Sisi in Egypt.
I mean, he met with Al Gore, of all people, if you want to get down to
Mr. Climate Control and Mr. Billionaire because
you would
of
think
it.
that'd be the last person that he would invite to Trump Tower.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
This was not a formative type of discussion. This was a congratulation for his winning the presidency. That's all. He got it from everybody, good, bad, or indifferent.
but listening to the alphabet networks, everybody on television, you would think that was the worst
But
thing.
why
that
do you
ever
have
happened.
to say that when everybody knows that the media is out to get him one way or the other? That's their main objective.
So what is Donald Trump trying to say to the Chinese here? Is he poking at the Chinese a little bit?
Yes and no. I think in a way he realizes that Chinese have had nobody there to check their expansion. Do you know that the Chinese spend far more, 6 times the amount that we do in military dollars today? They have taken over islands. They've become like a bully in the South Pacific. They have taken over the role that Japan had at one time, and now they're doing what Japan did to the South Pacific. Now they are so big and they're so powerful and nobody there to check them that consequently the Chinese have done things, and they are not a democratic country. And the irony is,
It is a very unique situation, the way the Chinese government and country is structured, the way it's communist but consumer driven at the same time. It's kind of a remarkable situation.
this Chinese have always been great business people. It goes way back, thousands of years. You go to places like Vietnam. You go to any of the countries, Bangladesh. There's always Chinese. The Chinese were murdered by the Indonesians. Remember the year of living dangerously? That was 1965. 400,000 to 500,000 Chinese were murdered by the Indonesians. There was a big uprising, and they felt that they were getting too much of the economy, and they had this uprising. But the point is, the Chinese today have, you're right, they have a dual structure. They not only have a communist dictatorial government, but they also have a very strong business government, and they're doing very well.
It's quasi-capital.
You got to give it some kind of a name. I guess it's as good as any. It's the only country in the world where the independent business people are living side by side with the government. And the government generally has been going back from Mao Zedong. But once that was over with, you go back to 1980, and Deng Xiaoping, the president of China at that time, who said it's good to be wealthy. That's all he had to say, and he opened up the door to the genius and the capability and the independent thinking of Chinese business people.
Now, during the campaign, Donald Trump was not shy to mention the Chinese. Intellectual property rights, devaluing their currency, I know a lot of things were said during the campaign that
Yeah,
were probably just rhetoric, but a lot of it also was shots over the bow.
As a businessman, he said it was a one-way street. We were, the Chinese were exporting $600 billion. We were lucky to export $100 billion. There was a disparity there, and he said we should do something about that. That's why he was against this ongoing waiting on the Trans-Pacific deal that was cut by 13 or 14 Asiatic nations plus the United States, and that Obama wanted very badly for his legacy. Well, I don't think it's going to go through, and if it doesn't go through, it's only got a few weeks, then it won't be through at all. The point that Trump is making is there's nothing wrong with making deals all over the world, but not the kind of deals we've made. Just for the
Don't expect us to bend over and take advantage of
well,
this
but
anymore.
he says, like the Iranian deal, it's all done for the sake of saying, I made a deal. If I make a deal with you, and I go around saying, boy, did I make a deal. You took the clothes off my back, but I still can say I made a deal.
And gave me the farm.
Yeah, exactly. The United
It wasn't a
States,
good deal, but you made a deal.
his point is we've been terrible losers in all the deals we've made.
And I would have to agree with that.
I think he's got the facts behind him.
And I think part of it is the mentality of Barack Obama, the left in general, in that they do want to bring this country down. As much as I would not want to believe that that's how they feel, that's how they feel. When they're burning flags and taking knees.
I will go this far. I don't think consciously he wants to, he's not an evil person trying to really hurt this country. It's the kind of things that he lives by and stands by are foreign and antagonistic to the welfare and the maintenance of America's greatness. Just like Carter said, we shouldn't want to be an outstanding country. We should want to be just another country.
That's the mindset.
It's
That's
a mindset.
where
Yeah,
these people
but there's
are
a
coming
difference.
from.
It doesn't mean either Carter or Obama are evil people. They just have a mindset that does not fit with the successful growth and standards of the United States.
It fits in with the everyone gets a trophy crowd. That's what it really comes down to.
That's right.
No one wins, no one loses. We just kind of
You know what that's called? Socialism.
Everybody's miserable.
Yeah.
But at least we're all the same.
Yeah, we're all at the bottom.
Angela Merkel now, all of a sudden, after she's let millions and millions of people invade their country, with all the crimes that have been committed, and I'm not saying all of them have done it, but there's been enough it's on paper. Now she wants to ban the burqa. And it's odd because she has an election coming up.
Well, that's a laugh. Ban the Burka. What about banning the Syrians who don't have any proof that they aren't ISIS people? Or building a mosque that's higher than the Cologne Cathedral? Unfortunately, the facts speak against the invasion of Islam into Europe. I mean, this is a touchy subject, but the French, for instance, are now finding that out. Le Pen, who is her father is an out-and-out fascist, and she's a little better, but she's got a chance of being president of France next year because the French people are getting angry. The German people are getting angry.
You can only take so much.
That's right. Our people couldn't take any more of what's happened the last 8 years. You know, if you want to be really honest about it, the 8 years of George W. Bush were ineffective.
I agree.
He was a very nice man. I think probably one of the nicest people. I've never met the person, but people that have said he couldn't be a more gentle, nice person. But he didn't do anything to strengthen the United States, and he got us into that stupid Iraqi war. But he created the possibility for an Obama to be elected. Obama created the ability for
Trump.
You would never have Trump unless you had Obama before him.
Right.